some hardcore? Bloods like it raw. How about some hardcore? Bloods like it raw. How about some hardcore? Bloods like it raw. How about some hardcore? Bloods like it raw. Hey yo, Bop, get that nigga. I got that food. This takeout order. I see food, I eat food. Who house is this, Nick? You know blood rule. We're original, real right.
Welcome back to another episode of Ghetto Stars. I'm your host, Breeze Bazurke. Oh man, today I have a very special guest. Very special guest. Y'all might not know who this gentleman is sitting to the side of me right here, but this is a living legend, fresh in the flesh. I have here sitting next to me, OG Shaquell from the Gangster Killer Bloods, man. Peace, my brother.
Peace, brother. It's a pleasure being here, man. What's good?
Man, I'm very honored to have you sitting right here next to me, man. I waited to meet you over 19 years, big brother.
It's a long time, man.
A long fucking time, man. Like, always, heard about you. I had to study a few things that, involved your name, and I always was interested to know, damn, man, who is this guy? Like, where is he at? I wanna know about my history, because a lot of people was just getting into this lifestyle, this thing of ours. For y'all that don't know, I am a member of the Gangster Killer Bloods. You know what I'm saying? And I was always one of those kind of guys that just want to know where I came from. I want to know everything about everything that I'm involved in.
That's important.
You know what I mean? Like, I need that pamphlet. I need you to show me, listen, this company was founded on this date, started blah, 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 whoop, this time, this date, this is why. And fortunately, I found out that this brother right here was so much like me in a sense that it just made sense. And I was very fortunate to finally meet up with him and build day after day and learn so much more from him firsthand. But I'm gonna let you go ahead and tell the people about who you are. And if you don't mind, my brother, please let the people know, where are you from? Where do you hail from originally, man?
Well, originally, I hail from Brooklyn, a section called Fort Greene. I'm from the Raymond V. Ingersoll houses. Fort Greene is comprised of two different housing complexes. Aside from Raymond V. Ingersoll, we have Walt Whitman houses. And between the two housing projects, you have four sides, respectively. At the first side, which is where I'm from, across the little bridge, you got the middle side, then you have the island, then you have the far side. Unfortunately, a lot of tribalism going on in my younger years, especially the early 80s, even going back to the late 70s, but the early 80s on up to, like, say, 85, the crack era, it was real bad out there. Sides was fighting against each other, a lot of beefs was going on, and predominantly, the majority of the brothers in our projects was 5%ers. It was all part of the 5% Nation.
Right. Wow. So the 5% Nation was around for a while.
It's been around since 1964.
So when did you get involved in the 5% Nation?
I got knowledge of self at 13, 1979.
At 13.
13.
How life repeats itself in different ways.
Yes.
And I'm gonna let you know why I said that later
Why is
on.
that?
But the Nation of Gods of the Earth.
Yeah,
Could you break that down? Where did that come from? And what were you guys' beliefs?
Well, it started from a brother named Clarence 13X who left the Mars and brought along lessons with him, who later be known as the Father Allah. And he brought along with him the first 9 born, who also helped create the tenets of Nation of Islam and Gods of Earth. They also put together lessons and at plus degrees that help guide us through through our times.
Wow.
And at some point in time, Fort Greene became known as the head of Medina because, let's say, in the wintertime, they had what they call rallies or parliaments, universals, different names. They had them inside Harriet Tubman Junior High School, 127th Street in Harlem. But in the summertime, they had it in Fort Greene Park. So we started calling Fort Greene the head of Medina because Manhattan was known as Mecca. The Bronx was known as Pelon. So In the interim of that, we became the head of Medina for 2 reasons. One, because that's where a large body of guards congregated at. And number 2, because you come to Brooklyn on Manhattan Bridge, we're the first project you reach in Brooklyn.
Oh.
From that angle.
Right.
Along with Farragut, but Farragut and Fort Greene like right next to each other.
Sure did.
So we called the head of Medina.
Okay.
So a lot of brothers in that day and time was educating a lot of brothers on the nation of God's and earth. But then you also have brothers like me who turn to renegade guards. We start doing our own thing.
Oh.
And we start being viewed as unlike the true and righteous, true and living brothers.
Why would they say that though?
Because we was robbing and stealing and creating havoc.
But y'all remain loyal amongst each other, of course.
To some degree.
To some
Because
degree.
there's been instances where guards got robbed by guards.
Really?
What they use is the lessons to justify it. So you had guards like they'll see a nice chain on you or whatever, and you're supposed to be guard, and they'll walk up to you and ask you certain questions, starting off with the day's mathematics, and it gets to some point where you get stuck. So if you say, hypothetically speaking, you know 120 lessons, right?
Yeah.
But they ask you certain things in the 1 of 14 or 1 of 40, you don't know it, you're held accountable for saying you know 120 lessons. But yet you don't know this degree, which is not even close to being 120 lessons. You only on the 30th or 40th degree and 120s, and you don't know it. That's a justification to give you a universal, which is a beatdown. In the midst of that, they take your jury. So they use one thing.
Your chain.
Yeah, so it was a lot of bullshit with that, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny as fuck though.
And the reason why I'm telling you the story like that, so when we start talking about other things, I'll show you a correlation to how this is how we are. You know?
It's already programmed.
Yeah.
So
it's hard drive.
Hard drive it's in there. It's in there. Now, from that point right there, the renegade guards such as yourself, y'all doing y'all thing, wilding out, would y'all still maintain y'all lessons on the daily?
Yeah,
would y'all still challenge each other at this time?
Yeah, we definitely challenge each other. Now, if you have what you call universal builders,
yeah,
a person like me at one time.
That's like a tournament or something?
No, universal builders is a person that's considered very wise, know all his lessons, and some extra add-on lessons. So you have brothers up north who used to send down plus degrees. Some of the craziest titles you ever heard of in your life.
Right.
Like how a baby is created from a live seed, air particle, and clog of blood, problem X, Y, Z. These are all plus degrees. And then you learn them on brain. You put them on cap. So now you walking around, you utilize it to the best of your ability. You might start off with some basic math, but then you just start hitting brothers with plus degrees they don't even know. And you swift with it. Or you'll ask questions like that. How's the baby created from a live seed, air particle, but brother know how to answer it. So you just start building on it. So to give the appearance that, man, this brother is super swift, man. Like he can build on anything. Then you got stuff how the planets form, all type of degrees. You know what I'm saying? Under a degree called Undisputed Truth, which breaks down to, I think, the 8th degree of that. The mind, what is the mind, and the way it's put together and the way it's worded, and it's coming out of the mouth of, let's say, a 15, 16, 17-year-old. You'd be whoa with that, like, wow, man, this kid here is swift, man. What is he? I don't even understand what he's talking about. But use that to your advantage. So when you did rob somebody or you did some real foul shit, nobody really cared at the end of the day because they look at you're more known for being a swift builder. They overlooked the faults you had, the shit you did. And then what you tell the brother is, man, he ain't deserve that, man. I asked that man a series of questions. He told me he knew 120. He didn't know his math, man.
That's crazy.
He got beat down and the chain fell off. I don't know what happened, man. They just eat that up.
It's crazy, man. So this time around, y'all was just still going around. The Medina is Fort Greene, basically. Brooklyn, period. Yeah. Medina is Brooklyn, period. How could I forget that? Right? Okay. Now, other boroughs y'all traveled through, of course.
Yeah, I traveled a lot, man. I like to travel and build, and that's what really helped me a lot because you got some people in their neighborhoods, like, that's where, no matter where you're from, Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island, wherever, they never leave their neighborhood.
Right, exactly.
I was a traveler. So I would go starting off in Brooklyn, young age, 15, 16 years old. I'm already hanging in Brownsville, East New York, Flatbush, Coney Island, Bed-Stuy, Bushwick, you name it. I was hanging there.
Sure indeed.
Interacted with brothers in all the places. I went to Spofford, so I met brothers who lived different areas. I came home to go visit them. I wasn't afraid to step outside of my territory,
Facts.
and explore. That turned into me exploring outside of projects, outside of the borough. Now I'm in Manhattan. I'm hanging up in Harlem. I'm hanging up on Lower East Side, which is right across the bridge from Fort Greene. I'm hanging in Spanish Harlem on the east side of Harlem. I'm hanging in the Bronx, all over the Bronx. And I started meeting and greeting different people and started becoming real popular that way.
For those like that don't know, like myself, I didn't know for a long time. What's the difference between Manhattan and Harlem? Isn't it the same borough?
Well, Harlem is inside of Manhattan, but it's a section. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have Lower East Side, which is like Lower Manhattan. You have the Village down there. You got Tribeca on the west side of downtown Manhattan. Then you start going toward the middle part of the west side, like 20-something Street. You have Chelsea area. Then above that, you have this Midtown. On the east side, the same thing. Upper East Side, going into, you get to about 100, 103rd, 104th Street, start crossing over that area, you start going into El Barrio. That's the name for the neighborhood, or Spanish Harlem on the east side. Fifth Avenue separates east from west. So when you cross Fifth Avenue, you're on west side, that becomes Harlem. But initially, Harlem was known as a village at the beginning of time, when New York was still, wasn't even called Manhattan, it was called New Amsterdam. Harlem was a village that only extended from 110th Street and Lenox, between that and Morningside, to 125th Street. That was it. Over the years, Harlem extended. So now you got people uptown screaming Harlem, all the way on 145th Street, 155th Street. It really was a small village at one time. Same thing like, for example, Bed-Stuy. At one time, Bedford-Stuyvesant, which was first where the Dutch settlers came from, when Brooklyn wasn't even called Brooklyn, it was called Brooklyn in the Danish or Dutch language, it means broken land.
Word?
Before it became Brooklyn,
Yeah.
it was called West Long Island. Brooklyn was actually Long Island at one time. Until the Dutch settlers came in. They called it Brooklyn, which means broken land. And you had a brother named Peter, I believe his name was Peter Stuyvesant and Nicholas Bedford. They was both Dutch settlers. They both seemed to try to claim that they discovered that section, which is known as Bed-Stuy, at the same time. But instead of fighting and going to war with the territory, they decided to combine their efforts, and it became Bedford-Stuyvesant.
Wow.
And Bedford-Stuyvesant only extended from Bedford Avenue to Stuyvesant Avenue, which is approximately a 7-block radius in one direction. Then you probably had, let's say, from Herkimer or whatever, down to about Green Avenue or whatever. And then they start extending Lafayette all the way to Myrtle, one direction, all the way by Ralph Avenue, another direction, and all the way back as far as LG, the other direction. Like, it just extended itself bigger than what it was.
Whoa, that's crazy. Did they have any street gangs in those areas back then?
It's funny
in New York City?
It's funny you mention that, because I hear this all the time, especially from brothers from LA. And no disrespect for LA, but first thing they say is, we the mecca of gangs. You might be the mecca of Slauson, some Slauson people, some Grams, Pyrus, blood-related gangs. But when it comes to gangs, New York, Chicago had gangs way before California. When California was nothing but paved streets and nice houses and palm trees, Chicago had gangs, right? Real organized gangs. We're not talking about like some Slauson boys like before they started getting organized. We're talking about organized. You know what I'm saying? Like Young Lords and Latin King. They've been around from the 50s, right? And in New York, I was born in '66. My father was gang banging in the 50s. Wow. They had Fort Greene chaplains. Farragut had the Farragut Renegade chaplains. Marcy had the Marcy chaplains. Albany probably had the Albany chaplains. And then as time go on, they started developing stuff like the Tomahawks of East New York and Brownsville, Jolly Stompers, You know, and they start building from there. But then you can't overlook the Spanish gangs, right? And they had gangs, Chingalings. You know, they had they had unknown bikers, which unknown bikers, Righteous Hell, La Familia, right? Crazy Bishop, Crazy Homicide out in Coney Island. And then some of these gangs had multiple channels, like Chingaling, you might have in Coney Island in Brooklyn. You might have a Chingaling in maybe Williamsburg. You might have some Chingalings up in the Bronx. You know, the Bronx had Black Spades. Like you had, I mean, there's so many gangs, I can't even name all the gangs out in New York. These gangs going back, then you had, because you understand, gangs in the United States is a makeup of several different groups. Motorcycle gangs, right?
True.
Local street gangs, prison gangs. You have
sport teams.
You have, most important, you can't overlook ethnic gangs. When I say ethnic gangs, meaning like the Russian mob, the Irish this, the Chinese that, those are gangs.
Facts.
Then you had organized crime gang, which is mainly considering Italians, right? So gangs always been prevalent in New York, long before California.
Oh.
In fact, it was the gangs in New York, like Meyer Lansky and them, who was actually a Jew, you know, all them went out, and Bugsy Siegel went out to Las Vegas on the West Coast and started establishing, known as the Flamingo, the first spot out there, right? They came from over here in New York.
True.
They went out there, you know, so our gangs is way before California.
No doubt. Oh, man. Well, during these times, you growing up, you seen all these different street gangs and shit. Did that influence you to start getting into, you know, trouble coming up? You know, did you, how old were you when you first went to jail, man?
Well, my first time in jail, I was really 15, but I didn't stay too long. That's when I was in Spofford. And I came right home, went to a court date and made it home. But then when I really started going to jail, in 1982, when I was 16, I caught my first bid. I caught a 1-3. I went up north in December of 1982. And I did like 12 months off of that and went home. Came home 1983. And I didn't stay long. I went back to jail early 84. And I stayed then until 1986. You know, it would start off with little small bids.
Damn.
Came back on a violation. And went back up north in 87. And then from there, I went home 89, and then I stayed out for a long stretch. I went back in for a violation, because I still had a lot of parole time, and I went back home again. But the last time I was in jail, I just mentioned I wound up going to college, getting some college credits, GED.
Yeah.
I was trying to get my life together, but then when I came back home, I got caught up in a vortex of criminal activity, which was like a vacuum. Like people was moving drugs, people sticking up, people trying to bring me in the fold. Mainly my thing was stick-ups.
Right.
I was robbing jewelry stores and things like that, but
shit.
I started getting to the drug game, dip and dab into that when I was home before. And in fact, we had drugs right here in Camden, out in Jersey.
Oh,
So
shit.
a friend of mine named, I don't want to really say his name, but you know, I'll say we call him Chuck.
Okay.
He's a basketball player. He wasn't even involved with the street life like that, but he had some nephews out in Camden that was running around robbing bars and little stuff, local stuff, and robbing cab drivers. The cab driver was scared to go this side of town at a particular time of night. And I suggested, look, my man want to put me on this dope thing. Yo, what's up with your nephews? Can I utilize them? And then he made us, he linked us up, and it worked out good. It was, selling little stuff out there for me. So, I tried to switch my game up, man. But then I went back to the jewelry stores and caught my last bid. I had 3 jewelry stores that I robbed, that I was locked up for. I beat one in trial, and the other one, I wound up copping out 10 to 20, but I already had blue trial in Queens, waiting to get sentenced. So whatever I get sentenced with in Queens, the 10 to 20 will tag on to that concurrently.
Shit.
So I wound up blowing trial in Queens and got 20 to life.
Fuck.
In Queens.
Damn. How did you feel when you heard that?
I mean, it's sad to say that it didn't really affect me the way that you'd expect it to affect me, because I've been in and out of jail my life so much that I became desensitized to doing time. And I was always the type of person that, hold up to my own accountability for things I do in life. Like, I'm not gonna cry about it. Don't get me wrong. If I don't locked up something I didn't do, then I have an issue with that. But I did what I did And I was old enough at that time, I was 28, to process that there's consequences of what I'm doing. I could face a lot of time being I already had prior felony convictions already. I know I can get an enhanced sentence with life on the back. So that didn't deter me. You know, I went out there trying to go hard and go home type mentality.
Damn.
I ended up getting all that time.
It's fucking crazy, man.
That was the last time I got locked up, 1994.
94. So 94, this is shit is bubbling around this time. Cause by this time, the New York Bloods is starting, right? 1993, around this time. Tell me your introduction into this world of Damoism, brother.
Well, when I came out of jail in 94, but let's clear something up.
Right.
There's a misconception that I'm one of the original 5 Damus. That's like further from the truth. I wasn't one of the original 5 Damus. You know, they mixed me up with somebody else who had a similar name. I don't want to say that name, but they mixed me up with him. So when I came on board, there was already a lot of Damus already in the island. So when I'm coming through, I'm like, brothers tell me, yo, you about the Bloods, yo, you go to court, you be seeing them Bloods at court? I said, what are you talking about? You talking about Bloods at court? Nah, blood. I said, what you mean blood? Like gang blood, they throwing up bees. I'm like, in New York? Where they came from? LA, got locked in New York? Nah, they right from the hood. I said, I just left the streets. Ain't no bloods out there. Nah, they just in here. So I'm like, I ain't never see them.
Yeah.
But then I started going to court and paying attention. I see them like bloods in like different pens by themselves. They don't ever put them in population. Some of them down in 1B with the HDM, which is really
infamous 1B.
Yeah, that's not predicate cutters and stabbers, but persistent. Yeah, they got 3 or more. A lot of them have 15, 20, 17, 18, 100. It was crazy. So I'm like, just getting to know a lot of these brothers. But one day, I was in a house in 2 block, HDM, me, my brother CK, a couple other good people was there. And I was introduced to a brother, you know, they call him Boxing K. You know, and I met him, and what he started doing was breaking down the significance of what blood stood for. And what stood out was the acronym, brotherly love overrides oppression and destruction. I was already aware of what was going on between the Latin Kings and the Nietas with the Bloods. And let's make one thing clear. I never had an issue with the Latin Kings. A lot of them had knew me from up north, so as time go on, I'll explain a little more about interaction with them. But he's breaking down the oppression that the brothers is feeling at the hands of these Nietas and Kings. However, the people that had turned blood wasn't the ones particularly being oppressed. It's just that brothers came together because they was tired of hearing about other brothers being oppressed.
Right.
So they wanted to come together and build something in the form of unity that they feel can combat against what these other Latin brothers was doing to the peoples. Not just black people, but brown people as well. So we had neutral Latinos that was down with us too. So they formulated that from the hate that hate produced. Let's just clear something up. Everybody didn't have good intentions.
Right.
Blood. You had some good bloods, you had some bad bloods. You had bloods that was involved because they really want to get together and fight against oppression, which is very few. Then you had some brothers who was involved for personal gain because they was a litty like that. They just wanted to get busy, wanted to cause havoc, so I'm going to join this too. You know? So you have people with personal agendas, and you have people in there that were really there for the fight, for the people, right?
Right.
So a lot of things were happening in Allen, but for the most part, Bloods came together for a common cause to fight against oppression. But that's what I mean by the guard body back in the days, the Renegade, because when you have something that grows to a certain extent, you're going to have people slid through the cracks that it's not in it for what you're really in it for. They're going to have their own mindset of what they want to bring. And that might be chaos and mayhem, causing problems. I got a team of people behind me now, so I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it like this. And that became a problem.
So how did that become a problem?
Because when brothers go off to the left and do what they want to do, in the violent fashion they want to do it in, it has nothing to do with the movement, objective was, or our initiative is. It makes the people that's in it for the right reasons look bad. And it overshadows what the people the right reason is doing, and makes it seem like all Damu's in it for the worst things ever. And that became a problem. So I'm listening to, like I said, listen to this brother, Boxing K, in Brooklyn, and he's telling me all these things about Damu, all the good things. And I'm like, you know what? I'm facing a lot of time anyway, and I don't like to see my people being oppressed. If I can lend a hand in this movement, in this vanguard movement, fighting for the people in the front lines, I got no problem with it. So I got on board. And then it went from there.
So you remember what day that was? Which would be considered your second birthday?
March 13th, 1995.
March 13th. That's deep. That's deep. Word. So now at this time, you dedicated your life to this vanguard, to this movement. Now, did you recognize any other brothers that were on board once you came in officially?
Yeah, so I recognized a lot of people after a while. Some people I didn't even know was Damu too. I got on board and being able to identify them.
Right.
Let's be real, and some brothers, man, I was in population, right? My brother KC, he's in population. You know, a few of us was in population, but it wasn't hiding. We was flagged up, but not everybody could be out there and live out there. So you had some brothers that was going through a lot of issues, and I feel for them, but you know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think some of us was fortunate because we already had prior history in the mountains, and a lot of people that was on the island at that time knew some of us from the mountains. We was bidden before, and we're letting their bros know, whether it's Latin King or whatever, yo, that's so-and-so, man, nah. Don't, you know, he get a pass, and he cool. A lot of people up north, he messed with the Rat Hunters up north, another gang. You know, he messed with some of the bros up north. They knew him before we all became what we became, so we leave that alone. So the young brothers to bypass. In fact, whenever I go into a building, that's why I was talking about bring back the Latin King situation, and I'm interaction. The Latin Kings, not to say no names, they used to come to me and let me know, yo, be on point. The niggas in here, yo, bro, they scheming on you. So, you know, you need to strike first, man, you know, because they really definitely, they're big bro here, and he really putting it on them, yo, get rid of you.
Wow.
So they give me, yeah, and offer me, you need anything, let us know. Offer me hardware, you know, bangers, whatever. And I do what I got to do, you know what I'm saying? But so I had a good interaction with them, but then some homies had a personal vendetta against them, vice versa. Some like personal vendetta against homies. But I was trying to keep it as it's supposed to be, man. Ride the 5, man. Let's just work it out. Even though that concept of the 5 was something that Max just threw in there. It's really Chicago history.
Absolutely.
Ain't nothing about no 5.
People nation
Yeah,
stuff.
we had nothing really to do with that. But it is what it is.
Now, did you have more of an issue with the Nietas Kings or the guards? Because we got to remember, people, CEOs, that's a gang as in itself as well. They just legally get to do what they do, right? Did you have more of an issue with the CEOs, the Latin Kings, or Nietas?
Well, let's be realistic. To be politically correct. You're supposed to, as a prisoner, have more issue with the guards than you have with inmates. even the out of appearance appear that you got more issues with, let's say, the inmates or Latin or whatever, or Nietas. Just know that your main issue is with the guards.
Definitely.
At one point of time, when George Jackson and them had some issues with the white guys and where they was at in Soledad, at one point, a guard got killed. A correctional officer got killed. At their hands. And they snatched the leader of the white, neo-Nazi dudes, racist dude, they snatched him to the office, and the deputy warden said to him, "We know it was George Jackson and his crew. Give us some information so we can lock him down forever." And that racist gang leader, whatever you want to call him, neo-Nazi, he told him, "I'm not giving you no names. I don't know nothing. Why should I give you information? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. So what he's trying to say is, you're my real enemy. Even though these are my enemies too, I can overlook them for the sake of going against you.
Right.
Because the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
For sure.
I have more allies with these brothers than I have with you.
Factory.
Yeah, so the same thing that's going on in the island. Yeah,
That's deep.
Same way I look at it. Like
So now,
no more enemy.
95, Live 95, that was a beautiful year,
That was
man.
95 alive.
Man, listen, I want you to paint this picture for me and the people. 95, now you find out, boom, you all the way in, knee deep. And what sets were around by this time?
Well, I mean, it was numerous sets. I don't really want to say no names about what sets was involved, but those in the know will know. But it was a considerable amount of sets forming that year. That was the main year a lot of sets started forming.
Right.
And it gave us an advantage because at one time, there was only one set.
What set was that? Could you elaborate at all?
The first set. The Paved the Way set.
Well, I know,
So,
but I'm trying to, all right. So listen, the Paved the Way set,
Right.
we're going to just say that.
Yeah, they was there first.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens with this is that whoever was the superior of that set, they didn't have the status OGs at the time.
Right.
Whoever superior of that set was, people on the sideline that wasn't part of Damu life was really feeling the energy, but wouldn't particularly join because maybe they don't know that guy, or that guy that's a part of it, or this guy that's a part of it. So they fall back. So it was kind of stagnated. It was like very few involved at that time, very few of us. But when the powers that be came from up north, and he allowed people to create their own sets and hoods, that allowed people to get in where they fit in. But they'll be like, oh man, Shaquell got his own situation, along with whoever, along with KC and whoever, right? I want to get involved with him. So they'll seek us out, yo, I want to be down with you. Same thing when it comes to other sets. So it started spreading from there to the point where our numbers started growing overnight, like basically by early 96, we was flooded on the island.
It's like
And
that.
getting a lot of get back.
Right. Everybody
To the
got in
extent
where
where,
they fit in.
yeah, we had some wars with Latin Kings, but the Neanthers are one of our main focus, and believe me, we annihilated them. They got to the point they wasn't even claiming no more. Period. No, they just went into non-existence by 97. The Latin Kings was still around, but the Neanthers, like, they was gone.
Can I ask you, what was the most frightening time in your Damu career?
Frightening
The
time?
most frightening time, like the most you would not even it ain't even have to involve you, but just some crazy shit that you seen or.
Well, I'll use me for example. It wasn't really frightening. But one time I was a C-73, and I had stabbed this Neanthar kid in HDM. So somebody recognized me there. So I was in a house called Two Main, and when I went to the yard one day, it was about 8 kings outside, about 30 Neanthars. So the Neanthars was basically doing, it was like the 30th of the month or whatever, they were doing it, or 31st of the month, they were doing it as a ceremony situation. So, with that being said, there's like a large circle in the yard. They put their hands up like this, twist their fingers up, they go to their ceremony. So I was thinking nothing of it at first. As I made my rounds, the Latin Kings pulled me to the side. A couple of them was in my house at the time. And told me, yo, bro, be on point. Because the brother was in the window speaking Spanish saying, get at you. I'm like, what? Like, yeah. So one of them asked me, you good? You need something? I'm like, nah, I got something on me. So I go across the yard, I walk around. Somebody walking in front of me, another black kid. So when he's walking in front of me, I guess the Neanthars that be on security on the outside of the perimeter stopped and, yo, you can't walk through here, go back that way. So he sped around back the other way. So I kept walking. When I got to them, the whole meeting just stopped. And dude spread out like on a horseshoe. And I'm like in the top of the horseshoe. So the older guy, he's like, yo, what's your problem? Man, I walk where I want to walk in the yard. No, I ain't talking about that. You got an issue with my bros? I'm like, well, what's up? And dude said, yo, watch how you talking to him. Like, I guess I was talking to the one of the heads, and dude tried to rush me from the side, and I pulled my hand in my pocket, and I tried to stab him, but he threw his arm up. I think my wrist hit his arm, and the gun flew out my hand. I didn't have, normally, even up north, we used to have like ropes around our arm, around our wrist, so the gun at least come out your hand. You still have it, and you can bring it back. It fell out my hand, and they rushed me. Out of 30 of them, maybe 15 of them rushed me, dropped me to the ground, everything. So now I'm on the ground. All I can do was fold up in the ball because these dudes are throwing all type of punches and kicks, and I'm overwhelmed. I was a lot lighter than what I am now. I was like real skinny back then. But anyway, overwhelmed. But his brother name, I never forget, his brother name Sun God. He wasn't blood, nothing. He ran up, and he must have kicked somebody in the face. Get the fuck off him, kicked me in the face. One of the guys gets bending over me, punched me. And when his head went up from that kick, that made the crowd jump up.
Yeah.
And then his brother named Taboo, rest in peace, he got killed months after that in Sing Sing. When he was back up north. He ran over and started swinging. I was able to get up off the floor. Now I'm fighting back. And then his brother named Black ran over with his man called Mega, who at that time wasn't homie. He ran over, and some other brother named Dave ran over, and we just, like us 6 or 7 against them.
Wow.
So the squad came out, and the dudes started dispersing everything. So I ain't getting no cuts, I ain't getting no black eyes, I ain't getting no type of bumps and bruises on her body. Like the whole time I was on the floor, they was hitting each other, trying to get to me. There's so many of them. So but it was a frightening moment. I'm tell you why, because you're on that floor, you don't know what these guys have.
Right.
They could have all the, you have like you had Nas, 007, all that, and in my mind, my adrenaline rushing. I'm thinking that I could get stabbed right now. Right. Maybe I'm not feeling it. Y'all like, oh man, he got me. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna kill me now. Like it's like this many people on me.
Right.
But they couldn't get nothing through.
Woo!
I had a big Cuban link at the time on the island, and I could feel hands trying to get to my back of my neck. Yeah. I'm tightening my hand behind my neck even tighter. You ain't getting that.
Nah.
You ain't getting that. You ain't getting that. Costs too much, baby. You know what I'm saying? So that was that.
All we worried about is the chain.
Yeah, I'm worried about the chain too. That's the only thing I'm worried about my life too. But I'm thinking when I felt that hand, like I guess it was like at least that one dude. Yeah. He don't care about getting at me physically. I want that chain. Right, that's what I mean by always some people there for personal gain.
On your shit, right?
Yeah. So that was very frightening, man.
Damn.
That didn't deter me from my mission, but it was just frightening that I got in that situation.
So you've been hearing, have you been, keeping the board with all these other interviews, these podcasts going out, you know what I'm saying? First off, shout out to Soulja Smooth Productions. You understand what I'm saying? Shout out to Flip the Script, Flip, G Money. I'm coming for you niggas, man. Understand, Well, I know you've been paying attention to what's going on out here in these streets, man, with these interviews. And what's your take on that? How do you feel about, is there anything to the story that you want to add or you don't want to, we all know what's going on, so, we want to hear your side of the story.
I mean, it's a lot of it going on right now, and shout out to Killer Kev, man. That's the brother that brought me home, man. Let's put that out there. He know that. But
this guy don't do no interviews,
I feel like Killer Kev's gonna be the one that get the most out of it. But it seems like some doing it for there's no reason you're not getting nothing out of it, man. Killer Kev, his character, his charisma, is gonna carry him a long way because everybody loves him right now. It seems like so genuine. He's animated, he make you laugh. So what I learned from him on the phone was that they got shirts coming out because the Queen flipped, he said something about food, and the Queen like, yo, you ever food? Who food? Me food? Nah, I ain't food. And Killer Kev told me, they're about to put some shirts out, give me proceeds from the shirts. like church saying, who food or you food or something to that effect. And I'm happy for him, man.
Whoa,
because
that's
I'm gonna tell you why I'm
gangster.
happy for him, man. When Killer Kev brought me home, man, he was a monster, man.
Like that.
He's especially, but guess what? Mostly against police.
Right.
Putting it against police, man, what we really stood for, you know, and with that I love for him, man, you know, but he went unrecognized for years, like an unsung Damu, you know what I'm saying? Like he disappeared, went to the feds, you know, and his name is died out. So now when he come back home, you'd be surprised at how many people hit up my DM. Hey yo, some dude in here named Killer Kev wanna talk about he brung you home. I'm texting back, man, that's who brought me home, man. That's the big homie right there, you know what I'm saying?
doubt.
You know, and I remember, I never forget, man, that after Kev brought me home, it was in Attica in '96. And although I'm older than Kev, you know, when it comes to the Damu, you got to learn how to respect the people that brought you home. So I'm not gonna go as far as saying, yo, I'm the big homies. No, I had a big homie, you know what I'm saying? So, in this light, and,
See that?
and although,
See that before you even go on to that, I want all the viewers, especially all my homies, my G homies, my younger homies, I want y'all to understand what this man is saying right here. You understand what I'm saying? I salute this man right here as my 3G, my triple OG. He don't even like to be called that. He don't even like to be called that. But he sat right here and said, yo, that man Killer Kev, that's my big bro. That's who brought me into this shit. You know what I mean? So that goes to show you that you ain't bigger than your history, my nigga. You gotta respect your elders, those that came into this before you. You understand what I'm saying? Or else you'll never get that same respect and love back. You understand what I'm saying? Like, he get it and he don't even want it. You know what I mean? But you have to pay homage, my niggas and nigga rats. You gotta pay homage to those that came and did it before you. Or, like, really though, why would we be doing it? You understand what I'm saying?
so the funny thing is, by the time I came up north in 9 Vicks, I landed in Attica with Killer Kev. And by that time, I had status. At that time, GKB was already up and running. And I considered an OG.
No
That's
doubt.
where the misunderstanding came from about the first 5. I was never one of the first 5 Damus, but I was one of the first 5 with OG status. So when I came up north, I was in Attica. I'll never forget it. Killer Kev came at my window and called me. Yo, Shaquell, like, yo, who talked to you? Yo, it's Killer Kev, man. 031, big homie. He called me big homie. He brought me home. That was respect, though.
Respect.
I took that as he wasn't being funny. It was
Right.
that he just showing me respect. You got the rank now to the point where I got to call you a big homie. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
In all essence, that's my G that brought me home. You know what I mean?
No
I always
doubt.
respect him for that.
No doubt.
Yeah.
That's gangster.
Salute to Killer Kev.
Salute to Killer Cab, man. Couldn't have said it no better. Like, that's deep, you know, because sometimes you really got to sit and think. You know, you got to watch to see who clap for you and who don't. You understand what I'm saying? That right there was an elevation in his world. You know what I mean? To us, that's something big, something that you earn, the stripes that you earn, and the work that you do for your team, for the people. You know what I'm saying? So now, y'all
We up top now.
y'all up
It's
top.
a different ball game.
It's a different ball game from 1B.
Yeah, or Rikers Island in general. So
Period.
I'm up north. I came from Sing Sing, basically with lockdown time, because a riot broke out in Sing Sing with the bros in one block, an A block. A lot of cuttings and stabbings going on that took place. I'm not going to say no names who was involved, but it went down. There's a little bloodbath over there in A block. I was situated in B block. Because of who I was on record, I got snatched up and took to the receiving room, which is the room where you first come in, intake, to go to jail, get your property, sign books, whatever, see the nurse. Also, it's the way you go out too when you go to another jail. So they brought me down to intake. Apparently, they had found some lessons in the guy's cell. And the lessons was GKB lessons written by me. It was like a whole manifesto. I wrote everything.
Yeah.
And he got caught with it. So now the sergeant is talking to me. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. He said, you're not Shaquell? So my name is 96A4312. But at some point, I was getting searched. They strip search you. So on my chest, I got OG Shaquell, GKB. So he happened to come back in the room while I had my underwear on, about to get dressed, and he said, there it is right there in your chest. Because the lessons were signed OG Shaquell. That's you right there. I got you. So they send me to Attica, along with another brother, on a van. So when I get to Attica, when everything went downhill, they was on me. They were searching my cell 2-3 times a week. Yeah. They don't find nothing, but they'll come out with anything, something they walked in with in their pocket. And we found these lessons, we found these pictures, anything that's game related. The charge is 105.15, unauthorized organization situations. Whether it's pictures, lessons, whatever, letters. So they kept giving me more and more time. At some point, I got a ticket for allegedly pushing a button and causing somebody to get hit.
Damn.
Right? So I ended up getting 36 months for that in the box.
Fuck.
While I was in the box,
Dirty joints, man.
While I was in the box, a brother that was a good brother too, he was part of an extended family that wound up coming up under the banner of Damu. He had some words with a sergeant named Carlucci the night before. And Carlucci was like one of the foul sergeants in Attica. He's the foulest. He had his own gang called Black Glove Gang. They walk around, COs walk around with black gloves in their pocket, black Kevlar material gloves. And they beat people down. So he had some words with that brother the night before. And the brother went back to his cell in one piece. But the next morning, they went to the brother's cell, opened the cell to search him, and wound up beating him down. Fractured a couple of ribs, whatever, they took him to the hospital.
Damn.
That afternoon, one of his partners, who's also Damu, was in the mess hall, and the brother told him what happened to his man that morning, happened to the homie. This other brother, that was Damu, decides he's gonna take action right then and there. A lady CO happened to be the closest one to him. He don't care, she get it too. They bust you right in your head with a stick too when you get down.
Yeah.
He walked her to her, snuffed her, knocked her out, cleaned out.
Right.
Police ran up in the mess hall. What I didn't like about it, police dragged him out the mess hall, nobody helped him, and he got beat down too.
Yeah.
By that time, the first brother got beat down, came up to the box to my floor and told me, yeah, it's going down. Yeah, it's going to be a follow-up. A brother upstairs on the third floor in the box, you could talk and scream to the vents. I told him, when you go out the population, let it be known that it's on. There's nothing to talk about. Like, them police got to get it. Them pigs got to get it. They violated. He went to population, let it be known. They were going to do a follow-up regardless, but I just put that extra word on it.
Yeah.
At that time, you had some militant brothers and that more than capable of putting their own thing together. And some disappointed me. They didn't really get involved. They fell back on it. I mean, long story short, they put together a makeshift team of about 16 brothers. Out of 16 brothers, about 3 or 4 of them was neutral. They went to the mess hall. Their plan was that every mess hall child period is always 4 officers in the mess hall. All they armed with is sticks and walkie-talkies. They decided there's 16 of us, 4 will go at this one, 4 will go at that one, 4 will go over here to this one, and 4 will go to this one. Because they had a count of whatever they did, they dispersed. 4, 4, 4, and 4. And rushed the police down to the floor. Took their sticks and commenced to beating their ass and them shit all up in their head, all type of shit. We in the box. When they did that, they started dropping the gas, locking the gates, locking the doors. The squad was on the way, and they went crazy in that mess hall. From the box, I can't see nothing but on the 3rd floor. They could see the A-block yard. They start ushering people to the yard. Even some people that was down the Riot, people all gassed up, choking, coughing, and they give me a play-by-play what's going on. Then the news came on about an hour later. About how 4 officers was rushed to the hospital, multiple contusions, concussions, shattered faces, all type of stuff.
Damn.
they beat them down with their own sticks. The sticks is heavy too. They got lead inside of it, so they'll get to feel it now, right?
Damn.
So, you know brothers getting beat down over that. I mean, really severely beat down. And what allegedly happened is some brothers gave my name up and said I sent word out, and they had to do it. If they didn't do it, they're gonna be marked no matter where they go.
That's
So
crazy.
you're only gonna have some weak brothers in your circle. They came to my cell 1 o'clock in the morning, opened my cell and rushed up in there. I was asleep. Rushed up in there, grabbed me, held me down, and they made me get. They had my underwear on and the t-shirt. They took me out, and they grabbed me up, handcuffed me first. Some big burly white guys handcuffed me, took me out into the little booth, and they locked the booth up. And they threw clothes in there. They didn't even care. First of all, the shirt, pants didn't even fit me. Get dressed. Left all my property behind. My property I have in storage. And they took me on the bus around 2 o'clock in the morning to Southport Correctional Facility. It was like the central box or special housing unit for the state.
Fucked up.
So when I get there, I land there that night, 3 o'clock in the morning. The next day, I found out my neighbor was a brother named J-Dub. And with J-Dub, he had told me something that I didn't want to hear. He said, yo, I don't know how you end up over here in B1 in reception, but I'm surprised they didn't take you to D block with other brother Farmer and the rest of them at. I'm like, what's over there? I never been to Southport. Yo, that's the box within the box. Man, that afternoon, they came right to my cell, took me to D block, the box inside the box.
That's crazy, man. So now you go to the box of the boxes, right? The box within the box.
Box within the
Describe
box.
that when you first seen this shit. How did you feel when you first seen the box within the box?
Pitiful.
Pitiful? Like,
Yeah, it was down there in the dungeon, right? Big steel doors. You barely hear yourself think because people making noise all night. The lights in your cell stay on all the way to late at night. And when they do go off, you're in pitch darkness,
damn.
right? Then you still got to deal with contests with people yelling all night, people on medication, inmate true patients. It was crazy down there.
Fuck.
When they bring you food, they put a cart to your door. It's like a little slot that opens up on your door, but the cart pushes so you can't throw nothing out your cell. Got a lot of barbaric people down there. So you reach in and take your food out, the food look all dry and shriveled up. It's hard. It's hard down there.
Fucked up, man.
When you go to the shower, it's the craziest I've seen. You got a glass in your door, a little square glass, you can see through the door. A sergeant come up with like 3 officers. They got like bulletproof vests on, knee pads, and helmets with shields in front and big batons. That's how they come to you for the shower. All you just got underwear on, that's it, and slippers.
That's crazy, yo.
I'm like, I gotta get out of here. So I start writing people administration, yo, what you got me down here for? I ain't got no ticket, no nothing. You put me inside the box. I wrote so much, like, yo, get me out of this. And they finally said, look, maintain yourself, and we'll consider it. It took me like 2 months to get out of there. So put me back in B block. Which like
B block. How
regular
was
box.
B block?
Regular box.
Regular box?
Ain't no big steel doors, like open mesh gate. You know, you're able to porter on the cup, walk up and down, they can pass stuff,
So
magazines.
they still put you in the box,
Oh,
but
you're
just
in the
not
box.
the dungeon.
You're not in the dungeon.
Oh, man.
That's the difference. That's like the difference between being upstairs in Florence ADX versus being downstairs in Florence ADX.
Oh.
You can't talk to nobody downstairs in Florence ADX.
Oh, shit. That's the shit in Colorado, right?
Yeah, you got no communication out there. So over in D block, you can talk to people, but then you got a lot of sick people around you, cutting you off. You're trying to hold a conversation, they yelling, to just stop you from talking. Like, it was crazy. I can't, man. It's more to explain about that, but man, that's horrible.
What facility had the most damus in it? If
All the big facilities had the most down. Attica, Elmira, Clinton. Maybe not too much Green Haven. Though Green Haven was a big jail, like one of the biggest population jails, but mostly because it's not really a disciplinary jail like that. You got certain jails that are called disciplinary jails. Attica, Clinton, Comstock, Elmira. You know, so you see a lot of damus there, but really damus. A lot of damus everywhere.
Right.
Except maybe Eastern Correctional Facility, Sullivan, those are Shawanga, no handful. But the bigger jail that hold like 1,800 people, 1,600 people, some cases 2,200 people like Clinton.
Yeah.
Sing Sing, they have a lot of down movies there.
Wow.
A lot.
Okay. Oh man. So, did you hear anything about Tupac helping organize the Damus?
Huh?
Yeah, I heard rumors about that
Organize what?
years ago. Like he helped somehow, some crazy shit.
Tupac had nothing, zero to do with Damu organize anything.
You know, you hear it all.
Yeah.
You know, I just wanted to hear that from one of the horses.
That's the first time I heard that one.
That's crazy. That's the first time you heard that.
Absolutely.
He said, "Yeah, I helped organize a lot of the OGs in the New York system." So, what ranks did you hold in what rank did you hold within the Damu?
I mean,
you know, between the brotherhood, like what was the first promotion that you got?
I'm an OG because I'm OG. I'm older, a lot wiser, the way I conduct myself. But I haven't really looked at positions like that because it was always given to me. And I guess more so how I conducted myself because when I was in population, I was a stand-up dude. I carried the flag like a torch, you know what I'm saying, for the people. I'd never catch me on the flag. I went from building to building. I never denied who I was. A lot of people was doing that. Never denied who I was or anything. So I think I was looked upon in favor for that. And then I was doing, putting a little work in. I believe there's a lot of people that put a lot more work in than me.
No doubt.
A lot more. Me, I was going for quality. Like I had, if I know a particular dude, particular gang, like was doing some foul stuff to the homie, I'm looking for him particularly. Like if I go in the building, like that Nifty kid I told you I stabbed in HDM.
Yeah.
Because he was doing some foul shit, but he was like one of the heads. Like I wasn't going to the bullpen to court and stabbing a little helpless, dusty looking Dauphine Euricus. Like I don't even touch them, man. Now if it's a war, anybody can get it, whoever's closest to me.
Right.
But that wasn't my thing. So you had like countless brothers, I don't want to say no names, because everything is an overt act these days, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to them boys. But there's some people that put a considerable amount of work in, like way more than me, and I salute them, and they know who they are. And those that's in the knowing, maybe the viewers out there listening, they might not know who they are, but within the circle, they know who we are. But as far as my positions, everything, like I don't really wear that on my shoulder as a measuring stick. Those who know, those who don't.
Right.
But
let me ask you this, right? A lot of people don't know your background as far as your heritage, where your families come from, which would be. My grandfather's from Puerto Rico, from Loíza. We're all the real dark skin Puerto Rican, darker than me and you, put together, like they black. Like, but he was in the army military base out in Panama City, and he had met my grandmother. Wow.
And then, they wound up getting together, and they had kids. That's my mother, all of them, but they was born in Panama. So I will be at the parade tomorrow, on Labor Day parade. I will have my giant, because I identify always, most of the time, my mother heritage. Definitely have my Panamanian flag on,
That's
my
dope.
beads.
That's
on
dope.
my sleeve, on
That's
my
dope.
arm.
I would never known that. I would never know. So, with your Hispanic background, did that put you like at an advantage or somewhat between the kings? Was there certain words that you understood them and you had to be on guard for?
I didn't need no advantage with the king. Like I told you, the fact that I am mixed. When I was up north, I've hung with a lot of people. Like shout out to my man Mario Machete, the old man T45. A lot of people Eggy, a lot of people I grew up around that was Latino, that was jailhouse heavy hitters. That's what allowed me to live amongst the kings, because even when I go into the building, some of the head kings that was up north of me in the 80s would tell the bros, yo, he off limits, man. I can't even believe he's sangre. That's Spanish for blood.
Right.
But he know a lot of the people up north, so I know he's not racist. He know a lot of heavy hitters. They didn't really want to get their hands dirty with me because they feel like if I go back up north, or they go back up north, that it's going to be some other shit with people up north that, yo, you fired on Quell. But with that being said, they was always more or less on my side, like doing recon. When I get to jail, it's like my recon team. They telling me where the net the house is at, who to avoid, where to go if I want to find them and do what I got to do. If I need things, they got some things for me. Like, they was very instrumental in that. And at the same time, I was able to allow brothers to come in the building to live good. Because some of these brothers been going through it from building to building. They need a rest, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they come in the building, I send word out, yo, that's one of my bros. But he might not be flagging that, yo. So it was known that when I was in the building, that it was off limits. I didn't have that same luxury with the niggas, but by that time, I was giving niggas a little hell. They just laid back after a while. They ain't even mess with people. They didn't even think associated with me, you know what I'm saying?
Did they have any Damus that caught hell from the Hispanics because they, helped them jump board with the Damus?
Say that again?
Was any Hispanic Damus catching hell from the Latino community?
Of course, man. They got to go extra hard, man, because especially, if they was once affiliated in any capacity, like, they was hated. And even without that affiliation part, if you was a Latino Damu and you putting in work against your people, they ain't like they come at you even harder, man. You know what I'm saying? Which means you got to go even extra harder.
Wow.
To keep them off your back.
Wow.
So shout out to the Latino Damu that
Shout
was
out,
part of the struggle.
man. That's love to me, because a nigga say, yo, fuck that. I'd rather go against y'all motherfuckers because I love these dudes. You know what I'm saying? I think that's genuine, because we not born racist. We taught racism. You understand what I'm saying? Like, let's be clear on that. So salute, shout out to the real, man, it's us. You know what I'm saying? That's how we should be. Now, we got all kind of Damus now. Where were you when you found out that the United Blood Nation, the UBN, had expanded outside of New York City?
Oh man, that's
Where were you and how did you feel?
I was in Attica, '96. Now we never had no intentions whatsoever for it to expand to the streets. It was strictly just a jailhouse, like, revolutionary set of brothers that came together to fight against oppression. That was it.
Right.
Like, nobody being oppressed in the streets like that. So we had no intention of it going to the streets, but it did. But when I started hearing about it in the streets, it was the sad part about it, because you hear all type of crazy stories. People older ladies getting cut, older men, people wearing different colors. Like, these are young kids, 16. I'm gonna tell you the problem with that, without saying names again. But there's certain brothers that went home, that went out there and fabricated their way into having a team of people out there that's calling themselves Damu.
So niggas
Because they was coming out there saying that, I just left so-and-so, or I just left Shaquell. He said, I can have my own situation out here. Next thing you know, Albany products, like the home base in Brooklyn, you start hearing GKB in Albany, crazy. Like, how the hell they get out there?
East New York.
No, Albany's in Crown Heights.
Oh, yeah.
Albany products, yeah.
Oh,
So,
okay.
So you start hearing about, like, how the hell they get out there? So you start figuring out where it came from. Before you know it, 97 is flooded out there. But then also, the boys got involved, the big boys. They had the state police operation. The first thing I remember they had was Operation Red Bandana, a big sweep, about 40 people in the Bronx.
Wow.
Yeah, so then after that, there've been sweeps ever since, here and there.
Ever since.
Now it's getting more and more
Now,
prevalent.
it leaves New York City. Where the first place you heard about it being outside of New York City?
Outside of New York City, New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Yeah.
How did you feel about hearing that New Jersey was giving it up on a B-Dog tip?
Well, you ever heard of Stockholm Syndrome?
Nah, what's that?
All right, Stockholm Syndrome is like a system, a psychological system that works against a person for something that it once was against, but then wind up sympathizing with it and coming on board.
I'm lost. Bring me back. Bring me
For
back.
example, I think it's a Liberian, not Liberian. Might have been Liberian army dudes. That was
Shout out to my Liberian dudes. Monk, what up? You already know.
Really
July
okay.
26th. That's my born day, and that's Liberia Independence Day.
So,
shout out to the Liberians.
There were some revolutionaries that was into robbing for the purpose of revolutionary, considerations. So, Patty Hearst in the 70s, She was the heir to a big newspaper conglomerate. Her father owned the newspaper. They kidnapped her and tried to get ransom from her father, an X amount of money to get her back. In the process of her being kidnapped, she began to sympathize with their cause, but they were doing it for revolutionary purposes to gain money for the help of the people. She began to sympathize with their cause psychologically to the point where she's no longer held captive by chains and shackles and locked inside rooms with locks outside the door. She's actually rolling with them, going in banks now, robbing banks.
Oh shit.
It's Stockholm syndrome. So she became a part of their movement after sympathizing and seeing what they're going through, hearing them talk, their lectures and all that. They had her for a few days, a week or whatever.
Right.
And they telling her, we tired of this, we tired of that, we trying to fight against that. Next thing you know, she's on camera coming to a bank with a semi-automatic rifle
like
and robbing a bank.
So what is this?
She got locked up, but how she beat the case because her lawyer argued Stockholm syndrome.
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
No doubt.
So-
She's basically vacuum pulled into
Yeah,
it.
I didn't get caught up in the Stockholm syndrome per se, but to some extent, at one time I was totally against damos in the streets. We started writing letters, me and other notable individuals writing letters to the street. Yo, what y'all doing is wrong. Y'all cutting innocent people. That's not what we stand for. This, that, and the third, right?
Right.
So it got to the point where, at one point, we wanted it to stop. Yo, y'all just fall back. Ain't no bloods out there. To the point where we encouraging it. We get caught up psychologically. We encouraging it. We embracing it. That's a better word. Embracing it.
Right.
Because brothers start writing us. Yo, big bro, if you need to let us know, we come through for you. Boom, boom, boom. And then it's like, I can work with this brother. I like the way this brother came at me. Come on up. They come up. They do little things, whatever. They do their 1-2s. And they're like, the next thing you know, now, don't get me wrong, we still on the same page, still trying to educate some of us. Some of us using to corrupt them more. But some of us was really educating these brothers out in the streets, keeping them focused. I was trying to help to get back to school. I done paid for GED classes for a couple of them. Like, I did a lot for them. Like, I can get on the phone right now to a lot of them that's older now, that's doing good, that said I was a pivotal part of their life where I helped them, maintain and get focused and get to where they got to now. However, some wasn't so lucky. But I began to embrace the streets to the point where the streets became a primary focus of mine too. Only thing different between me and a few people versus a whole lot of people, I didn't do anything for personal gain. If anything, I kept my pockets, I helped somebody. I never used nobody in the streets. I didn't create no membership dues to send me money, none of that.
None of that.
If anything, create a kitty for yourself and y'all utilize that for like brothers getting locked up or need help or some of the sisters who got kids and need some help with the kids or to pay rent, whatever, or brother locked up or his wife out there not doing too good. Y'all use that amongst yourself. If that ain't going too good because always the treasurer or somebody's involved in money, run off with money, play money games. People had no control of it themselves.
Right, they don't. A lot of people didn't, a lot of people was using money for their own personal gain. But when you said, also to help the sisters, a lot of people don't recognize that the sisters play a major part in this too, especially here on the East Coast, because the foundation started with y'all. And of course, I could say us because, like I said, I was the baby of the bunch in Jersey, and I came at a time when we weren't even allowed to to claim this thing. You had to be at least 16, but I was squeezed in somehow. How did you feel when you first heard about sisters coming into this beat thing?
Man.
And you found out, you got homegirls.
Let me tell you something. I study a lot of history. If you think back on Cleopatra or individuals like that, where one female can cause havoc amongst two warring factions, Cleopatra, you're messing with Julius Caesar, and you're messing with Mark Antony, and cause them both to go to war over her. That's what was happening in the streets. This is messing with Breeze, and then mess with Shaquell, and now me and you going at it, because we ain't got no sense of direction when it comes to females, and let it get to us, right? females, although they have some real good ones, they have some that was conniving. Like they very shrewd. You underestimate them, and I salute them. Some of them is way more shrewd and calculated than guys.
Right.
Whereas I think you should be like that. Why you not like? How did sister outthink you? You
True.
know, you had a sister that was in Bed-Stuy. She was 17 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna say her name, but she had a team of people under that was G-Shine.
Wow.
A team of people. 25, 26, he's 17. They dudes is grown men following behind her.
Wow.
And she's calling shots. So
That's crazy.
when they raided her house in Bed-Stuy, they came and got her first, and then they wound up proceeding to lock up maybe 30 or something more people after her.
Shit.
The first thing people said was, she snitched, because they wondering how she get locked first, and then other people follow after her. At that point in time, she became marked, and they were even trying to use my name against her. Yo, Shaquell agreed with Chief Plate. I never said that. I don't know nothing about the case. I don't jump the gun like that.
Right.
So, come to find out, she never did tell. I ran into 2 of our co-defendants. She only locked up with 3 people. She had the most time, 9 flat, for robbery cases and other cases in between. So I ran into 2, and they're like, nah, she never told. All of them got like 4 flat, stuff like that, 3 flat. She never told, man. She got the most time. She never told nobody. She just got knocked first and looked like that. So I was like, oh, that's great. So I started writing her. She writing me for Bedford Hills. And now, last time I heard from her, because I was writing her back in like 2001, 2002, she wanted to get a master's degree and everything at Bedford Hills.
Wow,
And now
that's
she's a social worker working with kids and out in United Kingdom.
That's gangster.
Yeah, and she's in England now. So now I can say her name in good light. It's Passion, right? But she's a very smart and shrewd female. But now she's working with kids. She got a master's degree. She's doing good out there. And I had the privilege of talking to her about maybe 4 months ago.
That's what's up. Did you have anybody from, not even just your neighborhood in particular, but anywhere in, not even, we ain't gonna limit to New York City. Did you run into any moves from anywhere that made you say, oh shit, like damn, I can't believe this nigga one of us, like a ghetto star, a regular ghetto star, like could have been a hustler from around the way. It could have been an old cop or something, or somebody that just fucked
I never ran to no cop, GKB.
Nah, well, you know what I'm saying, like CEO, same shit.
Nah,
you know what I mean?
You have CEOs on the island that would film themselves, they would consider themselves blood. They I done heard incidents of people possibly brung maybe some CEOs home, but I never been around it, and nobody I ever known told me I brung a CEO home. But you have CEOs that was, why they was doing it, CEOs running around with red bandanas under the collar of their shirt and have to keep it buttoned up or keep it stick out a little bit out their back pocket. Talking about blood up. I thought they crazy. Like, this is crazy. But you know why they was doing it? Not so much wanted to be down with us, but they didn't like the Latino boys that walk around with the bees under their shirt that was really claiming their thing.
Right.
So these police was really acting like, man, I'm gonna get y'all, and I'm rolling with the blood.
Fuck it.
So then you had the rumor of this police here, he blood, or CEO Warren, he blood, CEO Jackson, he blood. These all fake names, by the way. CEO Timmons, he blood. No, man, they not.
So
they're not blood, man.
So okay, we got that part.
Don't get me wrong. It doesn't wrong with being bloods, being in different walks of life, military, doctors, whatever. We need all that.
Anybody
on the island, bro. I didn't see no evidence.
Not even just them. Just anybody that you may have even looked up to, or somebody that you admired, and you said, "Oh shit," that you would never think would join the movement. That actually jumped on board, and said, "Yo, fuck that! I'm riding with the homies now."
Yeah, well, it's one that shocked me. We're not gonna say his name.
We ain't gonna say his name,
but we know he's a movie star. He's an actor. He played on different shows, whatever. Shout out to my babe, bro. But
salute to the guy. We know.
He had hit me one time. My DM, I had added him, and I said, I DM, yo, welcome to my world. He's a celebrity figure, right? Got 500,000 followers, all that. So I'm like, so I hit him up, yo, welcome to my world, man. Thanks for following me. He said something to the effect like, no problem, big homie. So I'm like, huh? The way he said it, seemed organic.
Right, like you knew it wasn't just a regular nigga saying this.
Right, so when they're just saying, like, the way he said, like, as if you either affiliate or something, I don't know, it just had a connection. So what I did, being I know from magazine articles where he's from, I reached out to his borough, people I know in his immediate area, and said, yo, what's up with this young brother so-and-so? He said, yo, that's the Hurt. Oh, word? Yeah, him and his brother the Hurt. I said, all right, I figured that. So I reached back to him again in his inbox, and he started vibing and said, I like to know what you're doing, changing the narrative, because, boom, what you're doing for work, this and the third. So ever since then, he show up at the parties and everything, man. I love that little brother, man. Word. Shout out to that little brother. You know who you are.
Shout out to that guy, man. Word. That's my dog. Hey, man. Anybody anybody that was in the can with you that basically hit the streets now, that you feel as though like played a major role when you was stepping into this.
Stepping into as far as Don Moore.
As far as both, because either way, whether everybody bangs. That's the slogan. You feel me? Whether they was Don Moore or not. And from that beginning of that 22, anybody that you remember from then to now.
I'm keeping real with you, man. Not to say that I'm placing myself above anybody, but there's not too many people really that I was inspired by, because I was a lot older than a lot of them brothers that was banging at the point, so I wasn't really inspired by them. I got a lot of they inspired by me, the way I conduct myself, and most importantly how humble I am, and most importantly how charismatic I am.
Facts.
Right? Now, as far as those that let's say impress me with their sacrifice, being resilient, and able to adapt to any situation and come out like it never happened, there's quite a few of them.
No doubt. Salute to y'all.
Salute to y'all. You know who you are,
Salute.
too. Like, you got brothers that did 20, 21, 19 years straight in solitary confinement in special housing box and still have all their marbles and scruples about it.
Facts.
And I'm impressed by that. Even though I did, out of 22 years in jail, I did close to 16 years in solitary confinement. Not straight, but 8 years and 7 months straight the first time. From 96 October to June 04. Then I went back in 18 months, came back out, went back in again, got shipped to the jail. They set me up with a weapon in my cell, the correctional officers. I wound up doing a little time in the box and got a reversal on the weapon they sent me with, but then they ass-segged me anyway and gave me another 52 months. So I did about almost 15 years, a little over 50, maybe 15 years, a couple of months in the box, aside from the other time I did 22 years. So I had breaks here and there, short breaks, but my longest break was like the last 4.5 years of my bid. I was out, population, getting programmed, getting my certificates, whatever. But some of them brothers did 20 years straight in the box, man. And one in particular is home right now, man, and doing very good, man. And he's like one of the most that sacrificed everything. Like, he started off with 3 to 9. He could have done a 3 to 9 bid and wound up doing like 27 years, man.
Shit.
That's a sacrifice. All that for mostly getting at E-Rickers, climbing over barbed wire fences and cages in the box, cutting them, catching another bid after another bid after another bid, man. He put a lot in, man.
For this thing, it's crazy, man.
And being that we're not talking about any particular situation that can incriminate him, because he did the time already, shout out to Tankhead, man.
Shout out to the G's, man.
Monster.
Shout out to the guy.
Monster. Killer Kev, police, fight police, like that. Monster. Monsters, man. Rest in peace, Robo Just.
Rest in peace, Robo.
Monster. I can go on and on with the names, man. Like, that made a big difference, a big impact, man.
Word.
But I'll just name the people that I know don't mind being named. Like, some people might not want to be named. I gotta consider that. But I know Tankhead definitely, he had no problem, man. When me mention his name in this light, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Kev, but I'm not gonna name anybody.
Absolutely.
Some people blurting out my name in ways that I ain't wanting them to blurt out. I don't know, it just came out. You know what I'm saying? They interview like, damn.
Man. We gonna talk about
and
that too.
Think about interviews.
No, we gotta talk about
let's
that.
talk about interviews too.
Oh, we gotta talk about that.
Shout out to KC.
Shout out to KC.
You know what I'm talking about.
And the whole bunch of other guys that I wanna shout out, but I don't wanna initial y'all wrong or make it too obvious who the fuck I'm talking about. But y'all know who y'all be. Salute to y'all. Feel me? Man. So once again, my big brother, I thank you for coming on here, man. Ghetto Stars. I said we like to salute our Ghetto Stars, our hood celebrities right now, because it ain't gonna mean shit once we leave from here. Mm-hmm. So I'm telling you right now, I admire you. I love you, brother. I appreciate everything you've done for us, man. When I say us, you know what I mean. You know what I mean? That go a long way. I know it's hard getting you to get out here because you're a busy man. You don't like doing these fucking interviews. You ain't been doing no interviews. How do you feel about these interviews that been going on so far?
First of all, I did this interview for you because
thank you, brother.
You're the homie.
Thank you.
You know, you embraced me out here in Jersey. You took me around, introduced me to a lot of people. Also, because I know you're trying to get your podcast off the ground. You know, ain't too much. Sorry, I can't get no real juicy details or put no names out there. I do the best I can to tell our story. But some of the interviews, man, like over the top. People saying too much, doing too much. Some people were over-exaggerating certain things. Like I done heard all type of different things. And some people was calm, collected, and tell a true story, as it was. Might have been too much. Some people threw my name out there in ways that I wouldn't want it to be out there, And then sometimes you get caught up in people lives you don't even know. For example, my baby bro, KC, y'all know who he is on the flip. I call him one day, I'm like, yo, what you doing? Ain't nothing, chilling, about to go on live. Now, when he say go on live, I'm thinking it's regular live, like on the car, or whatever. I don't know. He got a whole podcast by himself in the camera by himself just talking.
Yeah.
I'm about to go live, but yo, talk to Killer Cab, let him know about the situation. Let him know I was the first one to expose this other bro for being a rat, and what happened, the situation that followed and ensued after that. So Killer Cab on the phone with me. We're one-on-one. I'm telling him. But I'm putting all names, I'm saying what happened in the visit room in Southport and how KC was right about what he said, but he didn't have no proof. And I let it be known that although KC said that he's the first to expose his brother for being a rat, he wasn't really the first to expose anything because he didn't have no paperwork. But he was right about it, but he had no paperwork. It was truth out of season.
Right.
That was an old saying.
Truth out of season.
Right. So, with that being said, I'm explaining the story to Killer Kev. So me and Killer Kev talking one-on-one. And I bring up a situation with another brother knows out there. I bring up a situation with Ty Guns and his relation to the situation. Let it be known with the same brother I was a rat, try to do the shotgun, try to flip and bounce on him because Ty Guns found out about something, this, that, and the third. All this time, our conversations on KC's Live. So you can hear us clearly in the background talking. We wasn't part of his interview. He wasn't interviewing nothing. He was too busy talking over us because he was following the people that's following him and talking to them. Yo, what up, so-and-so? How you doing? Yo, I'm here. While we and Kev talking in the background. So then, I don't know all this taking place. I get a call from brother the next day. And he tells me, yo, you cleared a lot of You cleared the light on a lot of things, especially one particular, man. Like, when I heard you speaking about this, that, and the third. I'm like, what are you talking about? You heard me speak that at? No, I was listening to KC's Live, and I hear you in the background talking to somebody else, and you was breaking down how the whole rap thing came about, and when you first got the paperwork, and who seen it, and I was surprised at the person that you said when you first got it, or I already know about it from back then.
Man.
I'm like, but how did you hear that? He said, because you was on KC's Live in the background. You hear you talking on the phone to somebody else. So I go to KCP looking for his name and found it, and then lo and behold, I'm right there in the background. You can hear me talking to Killer Kev. But that's why I really don't like interviews like that, because you're not supposed to go saying too much. But with KC had me on that live, unfortunately, I was saying things in the background. It's not necessarily incriminating. It's not incriminating. It's just telling a story about KC in a situation, and when he had got, a situation where he had got assaulted for something that he really was right about, but at the wrong time. You know what I'm saying? So, it wasn't nothing no biggie, but that's something I wouldn't have said with names involved. So sometimes them lives are dangerous. So now I gotta watch KC. So when I call KC, yo, is the camera rolling, my nigga? Because I don't want to say shit.
Right.
You got me with that one.
Got you with that one.
Yeah, you got me with that one. So that's the only thing. It should have been too many people doing it, man. Like I said, Queen Flip came at me quite a few times, and shout out to him for what he's doing.
Shout out to G Money.
But only what I did to you, man, I did it for you because you're the homie, and I know you just starting out. Queen Flip already got over 100,000 viewers. He already got crazy subscribers, whatever. So
I really appreciate that, man.
You just starting out. So hopefully this interview bring the ratings up sky high. You know what I'm saying? That'd be a good thing.
Man. One day at a time, slow motion, but for show motion is all I'm knowing. You know what I mean? Was there any point in time in your Damu career where you may have been, because people don't understand, we live by a very strict set of rules, and for a few years, a lot of people didn't understand me. A lot of people like to go party and do certain shit. I didn't really start partying until of recent. I never was that kind of go out, let's go do this type of dude. I was always militant, ready for war, whatever the fuck is going on. Was there any time in your life where you felt as though, damn, somebody that I really love or really close to violated one of our rules, a major rule, and I may have to rectify that situation? I feel terrible about this shit. Were you ever put in one of those positions?
Nah, not with nobody I was entirely close to. Although with people that I've been entirely close to that of recent, a lot of things came out about them that really hurt me. Like, wow, it's crazy. But it didn't affect my everyday living to that extent. But it's still if there was nobody in the past that I had to, rectify a situation or take care of a situation because they did something real nasty, real nasty work.
Right.
And I can't say that. Anybody that did do it, they wasn't that close to me that I really gave too much thought about it.
No doubt. A lot of people don't understand because you hear so many stories where people are close to somebody and you give them all your trust, you give them all your loyalty, and they turn around and they bite you, man, they snake you. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker tell on you for some bullshit. And what we believe in, you do that, and you're gonna have a hard time. Let's just say, to say the least.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, bro, you did a mean ass amount of time. How did you feel the day of? Take us to the night before you about to get released.
Well, for most people, it's a long night. My first bid was a long night, but like I said, I've been in jail so much in my life that it wasn't even. I was adapted to it. Like, night went by fast. I went right to bed, went there to sleep, and went right up. Went up front, you sit up with a few other people that came with you, sign some papers, get your ID and social security card stuff you had ordered when you was in the jail in one of them programs. And then
before you was on your way out, when you got your date, did you feel like niggas trying to hate on me, try to give me some extra time on my way out? You kept it to yourself? You let your people know?
People knew.
People knew.
They wasn't trying to jam it. I mean, I'm more loved than hated.
No doubt.
Hated by a large margin. So
everybody was happy that you was on your way out.
I'm letting people know. I gotta let people know because I gotta give stuff away. I got typewriters, I got radios, I got cooking utensils, pots, pans. I had a George Foreman grill in my cell in Attica. Yo,
Shout out to GF.
Them CEOs is crooked. They say you had a baby George Foreman grill that cost like maybe $29. Bought that for 15 packs of Marlboros. Yeah, so I had to get out of the way. I gave the brother on the Blazer. I gave him my radio. I gave somebody else my typewriter. I forgot what it was. Yeah, so
now you got your date. You get up early in the morning. Take us through your day.
He came and got me. I went up front. Like I said, gave him my ID, all that stuff. I ordered certain identification pieces. And then one of my bros, a neutral brother named Brett, he picked me up. He was outside waiting for me, so.
Shout out to Brett.
So basically I went home and got in the truck with him. Mean system.
You skipping shit. We want to know that feeling. Cause see, I know you say it wasn't nothing. You just like fuck it. I'm out here.
I'm desensitized. Like I don't even. It don't like affect me. Like I ain't walk out.
So you just
had like
you wasn't happy
that
that
state went over me. Oh my God! No, I just walked out. Yo, where your truck at, man? You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to get out of here. Get me out of these hills, man.
No doubt.
It was like no real, unexplainable feeling. Like.
Did you have any you didn't have any remorse like yo when I come out this motherfucker yo like I ain't fucking with this nigga, I ain't fucking with these niggas.
Nah, I just fucking
I got this plan and this shit going
on. I had a plan, so I stayed to myself for a little while. I had a plan of coming home and getting myself together, which I did. But all I was concerned at that point is getting in that truck. We drove
out them hills.
We drove to he drove me to
Did it feel funny, nervously when you was in the joint?
I told you. Man.
No, I'm talking about once you got in the truck.
No, I'm desensitized. I've been in trucks before. It's like second nature. Like some people go through it when they come home. I didn't. I'll tell you about what I did go through in a minute, but let me explain about the truck. I've been in the truck, playing the system, got the GPS. The first time I seen GPS, aside from TV, it looked good. I wasn't that fascinated because guess what? I had a TV. So a lot of things I was desensitized to because I had TVs. I was living vicariously through the TV and what's going on in the world. So when I got out there, nothing really shocked me.
Right. You already seen it on
Only
TV.
thing that shocked me is that it took me like a month and a half to learn how to use the phone, like all the functions and shortcuts and things. That's it. That's other than that.
So people in large places like crowds and
That's
shit.
all I tell you. The only thing that really bothered me is crowds. Like I go to parole office on 40th Street. I come up 42nd, I like the crowd. Not that I was apprehensive to a large extent, but you in jail, large crowds where places usually people strike out, slide something through your ribs, you know what I'm saying, and puncture your lung, so I don't like crowds. And I used to tell my wife that, she used to laugh like, baby, you in the streets, you don't have to worry about it. Baby, you understand, it happened. And just guess what, 2 days later, a homeless man that had Ep.2 problems stabbed the police in the back on 43rd Street and Broadway. It happens, you know what I'm saying?
See?
So I don't like crowd. I know a friend of mine who got cut on the train years ago. He fell asleep on his head back.
Too.
And he fell his head back and against the window and going to sleep and dude walked by and slashed him on the cheek.
Get the fuck out of there.
For no reason.
It's crazy.
The trains is crazy. So that's the only issue I had. Other than that, I wasn't waking up early in the morning doing push-ups.
Yeah.
Wasn't waking up early in the morning listening to bells in my head and alarm going off to stand up for the count.
What about your rest, man? How was your first night's sleep? At home,
I ain't really sleep because I was with my
You was hype.
And I was with my ex. We did all night. Like it was, that was a beautiful night. Next day I woke up with the parole off. I was tired as hell. And after that, it was smooth sailing. I first got a job working construction.
Yeah.
I ain't like it. And the next job I got, working maintenance in Vanderveer houses in Flatbush, which is now called Flatbush Gardens.
Blup, 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 blup.
You know the vibes over there.
Yeah.
So then I was trying to get into cure violence work. And I went to Brother Peterson, this place called Man Up Inc. in Van Sickle, East New York.
Mm.
And they told me, oh yeah, we know who you are, you so-and-so people, just you take your number down, we'll call you, see how you talk to the kids, do some workshops. I'm like, all right, never call me. So then I ran into Trife Gangster.
Shout out to the bro, man.
And I told him,
Trife,
this is what I want to do. No, matter of fact, I ain't telling. Like I said, yo, I just signed. I went to Brother Peterson and them over here, Man Up, and signed up, and they ain't called me. I said, "That's what you want to do? Like, yeah. Why you never come to me?" I'm like, "Nah, I ain't never, think about it." He said, "Nah, man, we got a hiring panel. I know you a smart individual, man. Just come to the hiring panel. We take it from there." So I went to the hiring panel. I passed with flying colors. He hired me as an outreach worker. Our outreach worker job is to work with the youth, the high-risk youth, not just any youth, but high-risk youth, those that are shooters, those that are liable to be shot, those who are thought to be part of a gang, we always be politically correct and stuff like that, those who are thought to have, access to a weapon, those who are involved in high crime activities in the streets, those are the high-risk people we deal with. We don't do it at risk, high risk. So I started dealing with them, put them on the caseload, and I try to mentor their life, change their mindset, get them on the right path.
Sure.
And from there, I rose to outreach worker supervisor. I got a small team under me, about 3 people. And then from there, I became program manager, where I have a team of, right now, as we speak, in a new office in Fort Greene, we have 10 people under me.
Oh, that's what's up.
The main component that I respect the most out of everybody on the position side is the violence interrupters. The violence interrupters, the individual who actually interrupt the transmission of violence. Those are the people out in the streets canvassing with no bulletproof vest, no gun, no nothing. They dealing with the hardest of the hard individuals in the hood. And when they hear about a beef brewing or there's guns involved about to go down, they get out there, try to get in between it, buy time, by keep people separated and talking them down and try to de-escalate the situation. So our main initiative is to mediate conflicts.
Man.
Right? So that's tough, man. It's hard.
That's gangster.
When people in their bag, they ain't really trying to hear nothing.
Nah, absolutely.
So,
they want people. The people want blood.
So
man.
what you want to do is what? Put the people that's in the best position to play that position. Credible messengers.
Straight
you want
up.
Individuals who once had a name in that hood, who once was a problem in that hood, that everybody still respect and know their history.
Right.
And the people they look up to them. So when they come out there now to talk you down about something, they're not looking at you all crazy like you got 2 heads. Like, who the hell is you talking about?
It's facts. It's facts, because you can't tell me how to fly a plane if you've never been in the cockpit.
Right.
That's just straight legs. Like, that's no other way to put it than that.
So in cure violence, you have 3 stages. One is to interrupt the transmission of violence, get in between beefs and de-escalate it before it actually happens. Or if it does happen and somebody was shot, try to stop the transmission of retaliation, right? The second thing is change behavior. Get them kids in the office. Them kids ain't nothing to do. The kids run around the streets for no extracurricular activities. You get them in the office and try to help them. Give them workshops, try to dress for success, resume building, and everything it takes to get a person on the right track. Right?
No doubt.
And then you have the program manager job, which is to change community norms. Those people go out there, they engage with the community, they tell the community about our work and try to get the community to get involved with us, volunteer, whatever it takes, right, to bring our community back, man, to peace and harmony.
Man.
But we've been under rules of structural violence for so long that it's hard to really get back into that way where we as a community, and like how my executive director used to say, start calling the hood, we took the neighbor away from it. So let's put the neighbor back in the hood. You don't even recognize who your neighbor is anymore. Like, you see people walk at the door, you don't even say nothing to them, just keep it moving.
Facts.
People don't even, when last time somebody borrowed some sugar? Like, people don't even do that no more. People have their own little world, their own little attitude, their own little personal vendettas and dislikes, and then the killing, some of the killings are so senseless, that come from structural violence too. We was indoctrinated with that.
Hell yeah.
Right, to the point it became normalized. That's why it's called cure violence, what we're a part of, because it's like a how you say a disease. No, a disease. Like it's a disease. Like just randomly killing people or killing people over beefs that whether the person right, wrong, or indifferent, that you feel like as though I'm gonna take this man's life just because he looked at me wrong. Or he messing with my ex-girl.
Yeah. People gotta understand as well, let's just say, okay, I've heard that violence or shedding blood is no different from having an orgasm or, a craving for something. Once you do it so much, you just want to keep doing it and
Right,
doing
facts.
it and doing it. So these brothers jump out the window and risk their life. Once again, risking their life for a better, higher cause and trying to stop violence before it escalates and we cause more destruction to our people.
So
Salute to that.
it's not just my organization, which is by the way is called GMAC Incorporated, which is an acronym for Gangsters Making Astronomical Community Changes. We're a non-profit organization. We're funded under the Mayor Office to Prevent Gun Violence, and we're one of many sites throughout the 5 boroughs. And, you got SOS, Bed-Stuy, SOS, Crown Heights, shout out to them. You got Man Up in Brownsville. You got Man Up in East New York. You have Life Camp out in Queens. You have Brownsville Think Tank Matters out in Brownsville. You have Operation Hood out in Coney Island. You have out in Manhattan. You have different locations of different other organizations funded under the same people.
Can't forget the homie Mike Song and the Justice League.
Justice League, definitely Justice
You
League.
already big up.
You got RPG in the Bronx. You got RTG was released the Grip. You have Brags in the Bronx. You have a lot of SOS in the Bronx with 2 locations, Morrisania and South Bronx. Like, it's multiple organizations, man.
Damn.
GMAC, actually, we have 2 offices. One in East Flatbush, which is the original one.
Okay.
This is Church Avenue and Kings Highway, 5712 Church Avenue. And you also have GMAC 4 Green on Myrtle Avenue around 4 Green houses.
No doubt.
Yeah. Doing tremendous work. And our executive director, Trife Gangster, like, I learned so much from him. And one thing about him, man, he liked to see people, reap benefits for the work they do, So he worked hard and diligently behind the scenes to get extra money. Like, he get us in different facilities, Rikers Island, Rikers Island to help mediate conflicts inside Rikers Island, working inside, the unit where all the things is happening at. High class units. He's doing his work, man.
I sat and watched Trife, man. Shout out to Trife Gangster, man. And Trife is a rare breed, yo. He's a modern day X, yo. Real shit. When I say X, I ain't talking about Earl Simmons. I'm talking about Malcolm.
Earl Simmons?
Yeah, I'm talking about brother Malcolm. Like, yo, son go off. Like, he go for the people, man. And I love his bond with my nephews, with his twin sons, man. They got their own handshake, and I admire that shit to the maximum. Like, but I see with their strong bond, how much he loved them and how much they love him. He's risking it all for the betterment of the people. You see? So when you look at guys like Shaquell, by the way, what does Shaquell mean?
It means a lot of things in particular, but when I was called body, the word Shah born's king, so it means king, and Quell, Quell means to annihilate, to extinguish.
Obliterate.
But I recently did a search on my name.
Yeah.
I know you read it. You was probably a little, damn, that name kind of, I'm a little jealous about his name. Maybe not, but my name sounds like something. Like, you read it on Instagram. I'm like, man, I know it mean all that. It sounds better than King Annihilation. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Yeah, so.
No doubt.
That's my name originally, man.
That's deep. When you see guys like that, you know what I'm saying? And the guys, come on, man, the guy named Trife Gangster, my nigga. When you see guys like these turn around and say, look, man, enough is enough. We've been there, we done that. Don't fuck your life up. Let's think about what we doing before we doing it. Life is like chess, man.
And the funny
gotta
thing
think
is,
about the move before you make it,
And the funny thing is, if you look at the name Trife Gangster, you would think, man, why you call yourself that? First of all, gangster don't mean you run around shooting people and causing havoc in your community.
Tell them.
Gangster is
Uplifting your
uplifting community, teaching young brothers and sisters a better way, right? And bring your community together and protect your community by all means. That's a gangster.
Straight legs.
That's it. And that's why he goes by the moniker of Trife Gangster.
Straight lace. That's real.
Particularly the gangster part.
Yeah, that's real. I used to, when I learned the definition of gangster through action, you know, my guy, one of my teachers, you know, he was out doing his little bit, not even a little, you know, a little bit, because any bit is a long bit. I don't give a fuck what they say, right?
Yeah.
So he gone, and he told me, he said, yo, man, niggas ain't looking out for my grandma, you know what I'm saying? Like, I need y'all to check on her, and this, that, and the third. And I told him, like, nigga, that's nothing. I love her to death. Like, she's my grandmother. You understand what I'm saying? I came from her. And he called one day. I said, oh, yeah, I'm just coming back from bringing grandma some ice cream sandwiches and shit, and, you know, whatever, rub the shoulders for her and shit like that. She had aching pain. He said, yo, man, that's gangster.
That's gangster.
That's gangster, bro. I love you, bro. That's gangster. I said, yeah. Damn, that's gangster? He said, yeah, nigga, that's gangster.
That's gangster.
Because for you to take time out your day and be there for your brother or sister that can't be there physically for their family member, and you help them in any way that you can, that's gangster. Point blank, period.
So end it off as gangster.
Yeah, like that. But on a larger scale, I'm proud of guys like you. You continue to spread that example of what it is to be a leader. And I won't ever forget nothing that you ever taught me, man, and things that I'm learning along the way. And I know that one day somebody will look up to me the way I look up to you now. So I gotta continue to do what's right. You know, a lot of things I'm still learning. You know, I got a long way to go, but I know I'll get there by watching brothers learning from him. Man, it's been an honor to have you here next to me, man. You know, we'll talk all fucking day and all night, but
It's a long interview.
yeah, you know how we do, man. But look, give a message to these youth out here, man. These youngsters that's just now trying to get into what we basically fighting to get away from. And when I say fighting to get away from, I don't mean like leave your people behind. I'm talking about uplifting everybody and taking trying to help everybody get to the next level.
Man, if your parents is teaching you the right way, listen to your parents. First and foremost, those are your educators. If you out there and your big homie is doing young bozo shit, don't follow behind them, man. Be your own person, man. Right? Don't be quick to put in work for them, because if you go to jail, I'm telling you right now, they ain't looking out for you, man. I see a lot of starving homies up north that put a lot of work into the town. I came to jail with a lot of time, 20, 30, 40, 50 years and plus, right?
Shit.
Think for yourself, and most importantly, get an education. Education is important. You need to fall back on that. A lot of these brothers right now you see coming home, they like older, 45 to 55 years old, in some cases older. They come home, they don't have enough time to work 25 years now to get a pension. So when they get 65 or 72, whatever the age is for that, you're gonna be getting Social Security money like $900 a month. How you gonna hustle when you're 80 years old, 75 years old? So get your life together, man. Take some tests for MTA, take some tests for the post office, try to get something, man, secure yourself for the future. And once again, most importantly, get education. And that's my message.
Peace and love to the people.
Salute to the people.
Salute to the people once again. Most definitely shout out to Soldier Smooth Productions. Gotta give a shout out to the man behind the magic.
Shout out to Soulja Smooth.
You understand what I'm saying? The guy that don't like to be on camera. We're gonna get this nigga on camera one day, but for now, shout out to Blessed by Us Catering. You held us down earlier. My baby, I love you. Shout out to Jersey. Shout out to Hercs. Shout out to all the Damus worldwide. Shout out to all my people, man. Shout out to the world. And this is Ghetto Stars. Y'all catch y'all on the next episode. Coming back to y'all soon. Peace.
Yo, everybody bang, just do your thing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Song for y'all civilians out there. Call me and my niggas, gang members and shit. Y'all don't see the cause, y'all don't see the bigger picture. Y'all don't know why. I'm blood till I die.
getting high. Yo, everybody in the gang, if your clique got a name, then you label the gangbanger. Simple and plain, while the biggest gang on the streets, the fucking police are mad cause my red flag got a crispy crease. Freedom, love, justice, the truth, and peace. Black, green, tan, brown, burgundy when it's beef. As long as you hold that special bond with your peeps, you would always be labeled as a threat to the streets. Motherfuck what you heard, I got a freedom of speech. 120% gangster, you know who I be. I'm from the first generation, UPN East. I roll big bamboo or a fresh Dutch leaf. You could call me a menace, a terrorist, and a criminal. I'm still a young, black, intelligent individual. Jesus had 12 disciples, he was a general. Walk through life by myself, I would be pitiful, nigga.